Another edition of A Better Life. I'm your host, Dr. Lucas Fry, and we're at the show that examines different things in life that might make it a little better life. This week's send-in consumer idea that was sent to us is called Timer Cap. And Timer Caps is a neat little box. And if you notice when I open this up, there's a little light that's flashing on the front there. This actually has an app that goes with it. How many of you forget to take your medicine properly? Especially when you get to be my age, you get a little forgetful. Well, this has a morning section and an evening section where you can divide up your pills. And this is electronic, so it keeps sending on your app, it keeps saying, take your pills, stupid. And when you finally come over and open this, that little contact right there sends a message to your phone that says you took your medicine. Find out more at timercap.com or just Google Timercap, and it's about 79 bucks, and the app is free that comes with it. And we found it to be an interesting item to share with our viewers out there. As we get older, we get more forgetful, and that winds us up in trouble, which leads us to our guest. Ta-da! That was pretty good, wasn't it? All right, with me tonight is a special invite by the name of Michael Tyler, Esquire. Please welcome to the show. Michael is an attorney that is in our area. How you doing, Michael?
How you doing?
Nice to meet you, young man.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Well, now you're not from here originally, I understand.
That is correct. I'm originally from Illinois.
Good reason to move. Snow, ice.
Absolutely.
This time of year especially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The last time I was there, I had to shovel about 2 feet of snow for my parents, and I decided I do not want to do that anymore.
I was surprised the parents didn't move with you.
They need to.
They need to. So how long have you been an attorney?
I've been an attorney going back to graduating from Southern University Law Center, 2004. I passed the bar first time in 2004. So you can pretty much say I've been practicing for 14 years here.
And did you originally go right into private practice, or did you work for another firm? What did you do when you got to school?
Actually, I put in about 8 years of work with the Attorney General's office here for the state of Louisiana.
AG's office. Now that's a place to learn the ins and outs.
You can learn a lot of things working at the Attorney General's office.
Real fast.
Very fast.
So the AG, they basically, they're kind of over everything as far as prosecution in the state of Louisiana. Is that true?
That's pretty much correct. The Attorney General's office is the lead prosecutor for criminal cases in the state of Louisiana.
So you basically are on the other side of the fence now as a defense attorney.
Correct.
And what do you like to defend? What's your specialty?
Well, I can't say that I have a specialty, but the cases that I get the most of are personal injury cases.
Welcome to Louisiana.
Absolutely.
Why is there so many personal injury lawyers in the state? I mean, they inundate our commercial airtime. I mean, it's a heavy. Is the laws favorable for this type of lawsuit in the state, or is this every state's got the same?
For Louisiana in particular, it all depends. And it's going to come down to what the facts of the case are. We have a lot of injury attorneys, but at the same time, we have a lot of vehicle accidents. And so with that, we have to have the attorneys necessary to help to protect those individuals who are harmed so that they can get proper restitution from the person who injured them.
Well, I think a lot of people think that it's something that's just in Louisiana, but it's not. If you go to Tennessee or you go any place, you see trial lawyers doing a lot of advertising. It's a big part of the need in the area, and as you said, with more traffic, more cars on the road, bigger trucks, more trucks. We're congesting our roadways, and thus we're having a lot of accidents.
That is absolutely correct. And at the same time, there are certain things that operators of vehicles can do to help try to stymie some of these accidents from the standpoint of signaling properly, changing lanes as required by law, and things of that nature.
You see a lot of the commercials that people run. They say, you know, I was hurt in an injury, and you know, but I didn't call a lawyer. What is your rule of thumb that you'd like to share with people? When should they seek attorney's advice?
Well, for me, at the end of the day, if you are ever in an accident, be it that you caused it or you were harmed by one, you should always consult an attorney. There are things that happen throughout the litigation process or even the claims process that the average person just does not know about, but the insurance companies do. And so therefore, they should protect themselves, and immediately, once they go to the emergency room to make sure that their physical body is fine, then they should definitely contact an attorney as soon as they can.
I noticed that a lot of the attorneys go after the big rigs. Is that because the insurance policies that they have to carry are so much more? I mean, basically everybody in Louisiana has what, 100, 300 on their policy. So if they're in a car wreck, is there a maximum payout for something, or?
Going to the big truck wreck in particular that you mentioned, technically under Louisiana law, most of your big rigs should have minimum $1 million of liability insurance.
Okay.
But now with that, given the sheer monstrosity, the size of these trucks, and the speed at which they go, if you're ever in a collision with one of those, then your injuries are going to tend to be more greater. And so with that, you need to get an attorney definitely to help you with those, which is why you see a lot of advertising for those, because you need to get the medical treatment that may be necessary for those. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, yes, there will be a good insurance policy that's tied to it, which will be beneficial, of course, for the injured person as well as the attorney on their fee.
Makes perfect sense. So what do you recommend that people that have a small business, is there any particular insurance that they better have, that they should have to protect their interests? Do you have any recommendations?
Two recommendations. If you're inviting the public in to peruse through your things that you're selling, then you definitely need to have liability insurance, because a trip or a slip and fall can definitely happen on your property. And if it does, you'll be liable. Another type of insurance that you may want to get is business interruption insurance. Here in Louisiana, sometimes you'll have instances where a chemical truck might spill its load in front of your business. Mm-hmm. If that happens, you're going to have to shut down. It's not a point of you might, you will have to shut down. And so with that, if you have business interruption insurance, then you can tally up what your potential losses are for that day, submit it to your insurance company, and potentially get compensated for your lost business.
Does that apply to I guess just like having insurance for against storms and damages and things of that nature too? Everybody should have protection.
Absolutely.
Is there anything in closing you'd like to tell people about your firm, or that you want them to know for sure?
Just mainly that I'm here to help the people. I've been helping people pretty much since I passed the bar exam. My goal is to put as much money as possible in your pocket, but at the same time, I strive to make sure you get the best the best physical treatment that you can with quality healthcare providers. I know some of the best surgeons within this city, some of the best surgeons in this state. And if you have to get surgery, if you have to get an MRI, my firm is one of the better firms that I feel that would help you to get where you need to be, and at the end of the day, put money into your pocket so that you can take care of your family once the case is resolved.
Appreciate you sharing your information with us, Michael.
Absolutely. I appreciate this opportunity.
You bet. When we come back, we have another guest for you. Wally Waguespack is going to be on talking about antique cars, and we got another surprise for you coming up. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Lucas Fry, and as promised, we have a special guest on with us, and it's about something that is very special to me, of course, and that's helping kids that need help. And people don't do it enough, but there are people in our community that do care and are involved and have some resources that we want to share with you. Please welcome to the show. With me once again is Jamie Tyndall.
Hello,
Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
It's been a few years.
It has been a few years.
What has happened since we last talked?
A lot's happened since we last talked. Let's see, I've been at Families Helping Families now 12 years as director, so I can't remember when I know. And And my son, which is now Alex, is now 22 years old. So
watched him grow up.
Yeah, watch him grow up and get a job and be more independent and all that good stuff.
That's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about what Families Helping Families does.
So Families Helping Families is a nonprofit family resource center for people with disabilities, their family members and individuals with disabilities. So everything that we offer there is free of charge. And you know, the three core services are peer-to-peer support or family support. That's always my favorite because when Alex was 6 months old, that's when I first learned about Families Helping Families, and actually went to a small workshop that was offered. Don't remember the topic because obviously the defining moment for me was seeing about 8 or 9 other parents just like me.
Right.
So that life of isolation began to break away, and I began to realize there's more of us out there.
Sure, sure.
And so support is number one. I mean, you got to love on people and make them really feel like they're part of things and know that there's somebody to turn to. The second core service that we offer is education and training. So, you know, how do you navigate the maze of services in the state of Louisiana to access services? How do you, you know, ABA, what's it look like? Applied behavior analysis for somebody with autism, all these different things. How do we educate families? How to choose physicians, specialists, therapists, that sort of thing. And then last but certainly not least is referral. So we actually have 7 programs within our center at 2356 Drusilla Lane, by the way, in Baton Rouge. But we serve 9 parishes, including Livingston Parish. But so if we can refer families within the center, then we do that, which could be anywhere from early step services, which are for ages 0 to 3. Or it could be inclusive education support there. It could be referral services to Capital Area Human Services District, where services are actually deemed necessary from evaluations done there.
Right.
Or it could be Children's Special Health Services, which offer an array of services from a subspecialist at the EBR Health Unit. We have community outreach that's through Capital Area United Way. We have very important coming up in all throughout the year, but especially coming up, is the Resource Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders. And also keep in mind,
what exactly is that?
That is the same mission that we have throughout the whole center, where we're family driven. But in that particular program, there are 2 parents that have children on the spectrum. And so on the autism spectrum, so if you have any age, any disability, by the way, we serve. So it doesn't matter what age and what disability. But in relation to autism, the Resource Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders, we have Teresa Harlan, who's the program director, and Kara Shoup, who is a autism support parent. But just like me, they live the life. They walk the walk.
Right.
They know the journey, like yourself. And so it's a lot easier for us to, you know, support other parents like that. So the Resource Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders, they'll help you in supporting, you know, the family or individual with autism. The same 3 core services offer education, training. Recently there was a workshop. We'll get specialists or professionals within the community or ourselves to do presentations and workshops and seminars, only about 1 or 2 hours. We do kind of short workshops, mini workshops, if you will. And there was recently one on calming techniques. So yeah, you know, so you have a lot of, you know, behavior issues.
De-escalation issues.
Right, yes, de-escalation, that's exactly right. And so that was very helpful. And our trainings are for families, so they're a family-friendly level. And so that's very important. And then, of course, referral. So where does someone go? Because we're not a provider of services. We don't receive any Medicaid dollars. We don't charge families for anything that we do. So it's all about information, support, and referral.
Now, we've been putting a contact up there, but you had a couple of events coming up in March and that you wanted to talk about. What are they?
Well, as a nonprofit that doesn't charge for anything that we do,
Got to raise money.
Got to raise money, takes money. And so one of the fun things we have going on, and I'll get back to the Autism Walk in this. No, let's take the Autism Walk first, because it's very important.
You bet.
So the Resource Center for Autism Spectrum Disorders, which is a program there in our center, is completely funded by the annual Active for Autism 5K run, Family Fun Walk Fun Fest. And that will be May 5th, which is Cinco de Mayo. Now remember, April, the entire month of April is Autism Awareness Month.
Sure.
So we're going to go right out of that month into the first Saturday of May, which is also Cinco de Mayo. and we're going to have this big event. Is our 9th annual, but this time we want everybody to know it's on the grounds of Pennington Biomedical Center on Perkins Road.
Okay.
It had been at State Police for several years, but that kind of changed this year, and now it's going to be at Pennington. Beautiful venue, fabulous. Everything's right there on the property, and that is Saturday May 5th from 8 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. And there's a silent auction with amazing items. There's vendors, over 30 vendors will be there. You can sign up at our website at fhfgbr.org. Not sure if it's on the screen yet, but I'm sure you have something about that.
Sure.
Go straight to our website, build teams. We have a team called Alex's A-Team, but that's a team we just built. But anybody can build teams, sponsorships. We're in the sponsorship mode right now. That's what we're doing, is finding sponsors right now that want to sponsor this event. And the exposure is incredible. We always have anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 people there.
It's great.
Yeah, it's great. And the beautiful thing about it is the awareness, you know, and inclusion and acceptance of people with autism.
We've got a short amount of time, so tell
All right.
what else you got
The
coming
next
up.
thing, you got to have dinner, so you go to Chipotle in Gonzales across from the Outlet Mall on March 30th. Mention Families Helping Families of Greater Baton Rouge, or bring our flyer in from our website, and 20% of the proceeds come to our center, which
Excellent.
help us.
Excellent.
And the last one
Thank
is
you, Chipotle.
Byron's Bistro on Willow Grove in Baton Rouge on April 3rd. So that's another.
If you have a
same way.
restaurant and you're interested in working with them, go to and send her an email to
We'd love
info
that.
and find out how you can get your restaurant involved to help raise money for this wonderful organization.
We'd love it.
Absolutely. When we come back, we have some more surprises for you, so stay tuned, because we'll be right back. Welcome back to A Better Life, and as I promised, a special guest has joined us now. Along with Jamie is her son Alex, and he is joining us on the set because he has a couple things to say. Alex, how do you like this family helping families? You think it's a good thing?
Yeah.
Does it help people?
It does.
It does. And I understand you've got a job now. You're doing some work. What are you doing?
I want it at Wally.
Rouse's and Denham.
Rouse's
In
in
Denham.
Denham Springs. Ah, how about that?
On
At Cuban Crossing.
Ah, and what do you do there?
I hand out paper. They need to know.
Sales flyers and things of that nature people need? That's good.
Big help.
That's
They
good.
know when the West one.
Tell people where the restroom is.
Fantastic, fantastic. You know, people don't, they underestimate what people have the ability to do. And just like my daughter has worked as a hostess in different things and worked in putting hangars together up in Nashville, don't underestimate America's society, folks. And I wanted to have Jamie on here for a second just so that you know that there's faith with the people out there, and that you need to find out more information, get hold of Jamie's organization, find out how your company could be involved, because everybody deserves a chance. So go drop them an email and find out more information. When we come back, we'll be with Wally Waguespack. He's waiting in the wings. Stay tuned. Well, moving right along, you've learned about everything from counting pills to meeting people who need pills to lawyers that handle people who need pills. But now we're going to change gears entirely. A friend of ours has come back to haunt us again, and I always loved being around this guy because he has such a unique name for one. Wally Waguespack, I believe. Welcome to the show again. Wally, how you doing?
Thank you, Doc.
Hey, you have been appointed a new job, and you've taken over a organization. Tell people what that organization is.
Well, it's the Baton Rouge chapter of the Antique Car Club of America. It's the oldest car club and largest car club in the United States. As a matter of fact, it has chapters throughout the world.
Wow.
So it's quite a deal, and it has events that I am just looking forward to getting into and traveling through the country to get to go to with my old car and all.
Now, what are you driving now?
Well, I have an Avanti.
That's right. That's
Most
right.
people want to know what country it comes from or what, but
Made in the USA.
It's South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah, that's right. And we featured that
unfortunately,
on
it's real close to Notre Dame.
You've got an event coming up around the 15th, if I remember
No,
right.
the 11th.
The 11th. Tell us about what it is.
March 11th on the LSU campus, we're having our 9th annual car show. It's an open car show, which means it's open to bikes, trucks, cars of all ages and types. It's going to be run a little different than the shows in the past and a little different than most of the other shows that are locally put on. Instead of having the drivers or the owners of the cars kind of vote on the cars they want, we all have a tendency to vote our own, but we're going to have judges, and the judges have a point sheet that they go down, and they're going to judge off of these sheets, off the cars, so it should be very fair. Plus, we've divided it up. Instead of just groups, trucks, and cars, we're going to have 6 classes, including motorcycle, truck, 49, pre-49, I should say, originals and pre-49 modifieds, then newer cars, originals and modified, and et cetera. But there's 6 classes of that.
A lot of people that get into cars, it's just like trucks. I used to do a lot of competition with 18-wheelers, and matter of fact, we were in Vegas at a show, and it went so sideways that a guy won an engine, best engine, and never lifted his hood. So a group of us started a group called the National Association of Show Trucks, which now has been around for almost 20 years, but I was a founder of that. And we got our bylaws and our ratings rules and how to judge from this organization. That's how old your organization is.
Yes.
The point system was the key to making it fair at every event. And that's what we did, was carry it from
I come from a background with the Baton Rouge Corvette Club years and years ago, and I judged cars throughout the country in these Corvette shows back in the, I'm going to tell my age now, in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s. And matter of fact, just after our show, I'm going to Mobile to a national event for the Antique Car Club. And I registered to go to the judging school that's going to be held there, so that I can become a national judge with them.
Oh,
and
that'll
get me, well, it'll get me where I'm trying to be, where when you go to a show and you have a good car, you get the recognition that you should
that you deserve.
get.
Yeah.
Where if you,
It's
you
not
know, it's not
political.
politics, it's not who brought the most, I shouldn't say it, most relatives or something.
So come out to LSU on the 11th and see a fair judging event and learn more
it's
about
not only
this.
that, but now it's not only that, but you're going to come and you can, it has the chili cook-off contest that you can come and sample and taste all the chili, but we are not supplying Tums or anything.
Okay.
And they're also having the Spring Garden Show.
Ah.
LSU
That's
is putting
always a
this
big
on.
hit,
That's,
yeah.
Those 2 are 2-day events. Ours is a 1-day event, just that Sunday. But all this is going on, so it's a lot going on. It's all right there at the John M. Parker Center.
Right.
And it's a great, it's a great time.
If you've never been to this, I've been to this a couple of times. They have lots of plants and things for sale, and you can see the latest
it's
apothecary,
beautiful.
all kinds of things. I mean,
You can make a deal with your wife, say, look, let's go see the cars, honey, and I'll go look at the plants later.
There you go. Well, yeah, you go look at the plants, I'm looking at the cars, and
we'll get some chili in the middle.
Then we'll get some chili in the middle. Are you cooking chili too, or no?
You don't want me cooking.
All right.
You'll need more than Tums.
We will have Wally back again in the future to tell us more about what's going on with this Antique Car Club. But you want to find out more, of course, you can always email me at WLFT.com. But you have one more thing to
Just
throw
one
in?
thing.
Okay.
We're a club, and we're looking to increase our membership, and we're looking for new members. And this is also a request for members.
Good.
Come
All right.
out and join us. It's a lot of fun.
All right. We got to get out of here. Remember,
All right.
until next time, have a better life through Jesus Christ.